Hello and welcome to HY Focus. On HY Focus tonight, our focus is on the post-poll scenario. Now, having already talked about the exit polls, we would now be talking about the wrangling and the haggling that's going to take place in the days to come. Now, by all presumptions and indications of different exit polls, a hung assembly seems inevitable in Andhra Pradesh. If it is so, what could be the post-poll scenario will be the big question. The main players to set apart the Congress will be in the N. Chandrababu Naidu, the Chandrasekhar Rao and Chiranjeevi. All of them will be playing a very prominent role. More than anyone else, it is actually Chiranjeevi's moves that are being watched with curiosity by everyone. Everything now depends on how many seats they will manage to win eventually. The stakes are high and so are the biddings. Parties which are regional in nature are suddenly the most sought after outfits by everyone. The major alliances, the UPA and the NDA, are trying to mend fences with friends turned rivals. Winning over potential partners appears to be a bigger battle than winning the mandate from the voters now. But then, like the saying goes, there are no permanent friends and no permanent enemies in politics. To discuss on this, we are joined in our studios by Dr. Anil Kumar Vajpayee, who is the Associate Professor of Political Sciences at the Central Government College in Daman and Diu. Dr. Vajpayee, thank you very much for joining us here on HY TV. Now, Dr. Vajpayee, when we talk of the post-poll scenario, the first thing obviously we would like to talk about is what is the role and how important have small parties now become for the big ones?
Well, I think we have to place this in a larger perspective. It's not just merely parties. My feeling is that the central point of this election is compulsions of each state are going to determine the outcome in New Delhi.
I see.
Take for example, assuming UPA manages to surge ahead. Obviously, when they take support from, take for example a state like Bengal, they take support from CPM or left, Mamta is out. They take support from Karunanidhi, Jayalalitha is out. They try to woo Mulayam, Mayawati is out. So my feeling is that the focused point of this election is compulsions of each state are going to determine the final outcome or who rules in Delhi.
That's an important observation you made.
Right.
Yes.
And I think same applies in case NDA manages to surge ahead.
Very true. Even NDA, when they, because what you mean to say is they have a choice to make. So they have to sort of displease at least one of the two of the state parties. That's right. And sorry, when we talk of this, what is the role of the left going to be? Because left is already, thinking of whether to go with the Congress or to not, because not to support Congress is a stance that they have had from the day one. They've always been saying no Congress, no BJP government. They've had their own front now, third front. Now, what is it that they'll be compelled to do at least?
I think this election, their number is certainly going to go down, but that not necessarily indicate that role or their importance will also get reduced. It much depends on the kind of, the numbers which UPA manages to get without left. Assuming if it is less, then their role will certainly become significant, because two things are very clear: they are not going to support NDA.
That's right.
Right. Obviously, they are not going to support.
Yes.
Ideally, for them would be to form a third front government supported by Congress. They will bring the compulsions of secularism.
That's right.
They will say, you will have to support us.
That's because we both are secular.
Yeah, but the thing is that problem with such a scenario is that Congress has its own long-term compulsions.
Certainly.
The moment they support a third front government, this is possible only when Congress feels that it feels itself out of this number games.
That's right.
This scenario can emerge only under such a situation.
And Congress will have to do very bad, you mean?
Yeah. Assuming if Congress individual tally falls somewhere below 125.
Which is unlikely, that's right. That's what the exit polls are suggesting, at least for now. So it's only in that scenario that the third front will be able to dictate.
And in case if Congress, marginally even surpasses that, my strong feeling is that even with lesser number, left will have a significant role to play.
I see. Being a part of the supporting the Congress itself over there, you mean? That's right. So right, so they would have an important goal to make, you mean, over
Certainly,
there, right?
certainly.
Now Nitish Kumar, he's now finally playing the Bihar card. You know,
Fine.
so I mean, what do you think has prompted him to do so, and how safe is it that he's trying to play?
I think
Because he's definitely not trying to.
yeah, the point I think is overstretched in media. In the sense, Nitish Kumar, as I said, compulsions of each state. Nitish Kumar cannot afford to ignore BJP even if he wants to. Assuming if he BJP, the immediate impact would be fall of his government, right? Which I don't think a seasoned politician like Nitish
like
Kumar will venture into.
Right.
And secondly, if you look at the support basis, Nitish Kumar over the years, especially since he came to power, has managed to build a powerful social coalition, which was a strong counter to my social coalition of Lalu Prasad Yadav. My means
That's
Muslims
right.
and Yadavs,
Very true.
which seemed impregnable and unbreakable.
That's right.
And this Nitish Kumar was in a position to do. Firstly, he has built a coalition of backward classes. This was very effectively supplemented by
Certainly.
forward combination of BJP in the form of Brahmins, in the form of Banyas, in the form of Rajputs, in the form of Bhumiyars, and added to this Kayas.
That's right.
So unless and until these two, I mean, they have compulsions to stay together.
Certainly right. They do have compulsions, and
Yeah.
the state.
I
the
think this is
compulsion of the
more,
state.
this point is overstretched. It's basically a media creation.
Very true. And as you rightly said, the compulsions of the state are going
Right.
to take prominence. And
I think that is the
precedence.
basic point. That is my basic observation about this election. It is compulsions of each state that is going to determine the final outcome.
That's right. That's an interesting one. Now, Dr. Vajpayee, when we look at the exit polls, I mean, obviously we have looked at all the exit polls,
Fine.
and I mean, majority of them suggest that the Congress is going to be slightly ahead of the
Fine,
BJP.
fine.
The BJP will follow that, and would be followed by the left. So, I mean, what is your personal take on that one? So, in terms of the exit polls numbers, I mean, how close you think are those numbers going to be to the actual numbers, which would come out by tomorrow morning?
See,
You're talking about the
my
results.
own hunch about this, I mean, exit polls about this time, I cannot tell you about state to state, but at all India level, I think, if I may use the Hindi word, they are doing some kind of conjugacy in giving BJP
I see.
tally. I think difference between UPA and NDA will not be much.
I see. As much as being portrayed.
It is certainly going to be a close call. I mean, far more close than what many of the exit polls are
I
trying
see.
to do.
So it's-
About certain an individual seat, I can tell you because your correspondent has spoken to me on about Daman and Diu. I think they have not studied the ground realities there in the kind of changes that have taken place. I don't mind putting my reputation for whatever it is worth on
Online.
stake. That Daman seat, though traditionally is a Congress stronghold, Congress has been winning, but this time I feel Congress is in all likelihood is going to lose that seat.
That's right.
And whereas all your exit poll are suggesting that it is Congress which is going to win this seat.
Very
So somewhere I feel these exit polls have erred in doing micro analysis of different constituencies.
That's right. Now, you were talking about the BJP obviously sort of taking over there in Daman, you know, leaving the Congress behind. Why do you think that such a change has come? I mean, what has actually prompted the people to vote for a change?
See, Daman basically is not a poor region, in the sense you will not find, it's a peculiar place in India where you will not find any beggars there.
I see.
And the parliamentary seat hardly consists of 70 to 80,000 of electorates,
That's
which
right.
is such small in size. I think even in Andhra
Very-
Pradesh, assembly size will be bigger than
Certainly
that.
much bigger than
The thing is that there was a lot of disenchantment with the sitting Congress MP. What you talk about anti-incumbency, my feeling is that anti-incumbency works at three levels. It could work against the existing central government, it can work against the existing state government, and sometimes it can work against the existing
Ministry.
member of parliament or
the
member of
legislative.
what
That's right.
whatever the case may be. So this time it is the third factor which is going to take shape there.
Very true. That's an interesting observation. We'll have to wait and see actually what unfolds in Daman, as you rightly said, and that cannot be said until the results are out by tomorrow. Right, we'll quickly slip into a very short break here. When we return, we will continue talking to Dr. Vajpayee after this very short break. Welcome back. You're watching HY Focus. Andhra Pradesh is poised for its first ever hung assembly. The Congress is hoping for an encore, while N. Chandrababu Naidu has set his eyes on a triumphant return. to the helm of affairs, that is. However, more than the TRS, the onus is now on Chiranjeevi and his Praja Rajam party, which will tilt and will have a bearing on the eventual outcome in Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Vajpayee, returning this to the same topic and to Andhra Pradesh now. Now, we were looking at the analysis over there and we found out that PRP has quite an important role to play. Now, when it plays such a pivotal role, what is a bargain it will look for? I mean, we're being told that it sort of, if it gets the 50 or 60 number, that's the number if it obtains, it would definitely bargain for the chief ministership, Chiranjeevi over there. What is your call on this one? Andhra Pradesh, what is the scenario going to be?
I think before answering this question, I think one has to look at a very significant development about Andhra Pradesh in this election. I think you should know that Andhra Pradesh has been one of the few two-party states like Gujarat, like Madhya Pradesh, like Himachal Pradesh. I mean, and I don't know how long these states are going to remain that way before one Mayawati or Mulayam can make it a multi-party state. So after this election, I think this trend is going to be broken about Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh will no more be a two-party state.
That's right.
Chiranjeevi may be playing the role of a spoiler, but both in terms of percentage of votes and in terms of seats, I think Andhra Pradesh, this particular election with the entry of Chiranjeevi has changed the character of not only political system but political process for all time to come.
Right. Now, Dr. Vajpayee, when you say that, when you talk of the PRP and its role, would you be saying in other words that the PRP is playing more of a spoilsport, as you rightly said? Yes. And I mean, is it sort of doing more of a harm to the Congress and the TDP than any good?
Right.
That's what it's doing.
No, but as you said, assuming this grand alliance fails to reach that magic number and Chiranjeevi manages to get somewhere around 50 seats, I think certainly he will be looking forward to Congress supporting him as chief minister in return for support to Congress at the center.
That's right. Now, what about the other parties? We were talking about the Congress obviously coming there with the numbers slightly ahead of the TDP. That's what the projections are, at least till now. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. The TDP, tell us something about it. Now, it will have quite an important call to take, because out in the center, KCR is saying that he will get more support from the Andhra Pradesh for the NDA, which obviously means he'll go back to the Grand Alliance. Now, the CPI, CPM obviously not very keen on going back supporting the NDA, so it will have to be the TDP. So, how difficult is a decision for the TDP to make?
Much depends. Assuming TDP crosses 20, which seems likely at the moment, as what many of the exit polls suggest, I think TDP will have a significant role to play, assuming NDA surges ahead. It will be same what the kind of role which Chandrababu Naidu played when Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was Prime Minister. I think this time it could be far more significant, because if you remember the fact that in 1999 elections, Atal Bihari Vajpayee led NDA crossed 302 seats. So, no single party, including Chandrababu Naidu, was in a position to bring its fall.
That's right.
But this time, I think even if NDA surges ahead, it will be badly dependent once again on Chandrababu Naidu, or for that matter Jayalalitha or Mayawati or any of these combinations, because options before Mr. Chandrababu Naidu are limited. Obviously, he cannot support Congress.
That's right. He cannot.
I mean,
because being at crossroads with them on the state, in the state.
True. But again, on the other hand, there will always be possibility of Chandrababu Naidu losing minority votes. But as you know, people's memory is too short.
Certainly.
Right. So, I mean, as I said, this is all depends on ifs and buts. See, if NDA surges ahead, I think in all probability, Chandrababu Naidu under no situation is going to support a Congress-led government. Ideal situation for him would be to ensure that Congress supports a third front government. This is what he has said. This is what was reported in newspapers. And his second option would be to support an NDA-led government. Of course, he will extract a heavy price for that, and maybe, I mean, I don't know how long or how far anyone can say into future, he will always be worried about his support base among minorities. So, even out of compulsion, if he supports NDA, I think maybe a year before or 6 months before, he is going to withdraw the support and come out with the argument that he has done all this in the name of secularism.
That's right. That's what he has done in the past as well. And as you rightly said, even if the NDA gets the numbers and stuff, it will be balancing on too many shoulders,
right,
and that's going to be quite volatile, as you rightly said.
Because you should remember one fact, that allies will be more demanding in case of BJP than with case of Congress.
I think Congress, very true. Knowing the situation
and threshold for BJP will always be very high in order to attract in order to serve at that power magnet when compared to Congress.
That's right. So it's going to be a relatively easier job for the Congress.
True.
Very true, in case it does. Well, that's an interesting observation. Thank you very much for the observations and the comments. We'll have to obviously wait and see what unfolds tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big D-Day, and what the results actually suggest is something we'll come to know tomorrow itself. Now, don't forget to tune in tomorrow to HYTVs from 7 a.m. all day tomorrow. We'll be bringing you live feature. The People's Verdict is the feature we are bringing in tomorrow live to bring you the results as they come out, from where they come from across the country. You will have the numbers updated ASAP, obviously tomorrow on time on HYTV all day tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in and be with us all day tomorrow from 7 a.m. And we will be joined in by eminent panel as well, a panel with distinguished politicians and analysts and political analysts as such. And so we will have quite an important day tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day we have all been waiting for quite some time, and the day is there tomorrow. 16th of May has come. Tomorrow, be with us all day tomorrow. Right, thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Vajpayee. We do appreciate your time. That was Dr. Vajpayee with his expert comments and observations over there. Thank you very much for watching HY Focus. Stay tuned to HY TV for more updates. Bye for now.